So I'm right here in the shop. It's time to start working on our next project. If we look out in the yard, Colonel Craftsman, I'm kind of thinking about doing a replica of Colonel Craftsman, just a newer model. This is a slightly newer. Notice the rounded hood. Anyway, on this one it is a Kohler which is froze up, and I've got a replacement Briggs V-twin to go on it. There is some rust. I've already got some tires for it. What I really like about it is that blade on the back. None of my other ones have blades. We now have an attachment. Anyway, I want to get this one running, make it a mutter, maybe go to the river with that blade and smooth out some sand. I've got all kind of plans. Other than that, good seat. Let's see. Steers easy. The blade lifts with this lever here that lifts the deck. That needs to be cleaned up and adjusted. Anyway, we need to get it running so I can test out that blade. And those turf tires and the blade, that don't look like a very good combination to me, so I've got some mud bug tires. They are 25, 10 by 10 with good tread. And the catch is, on the mower now, there are 12-inch wheels. These are 10-inch tires, but I do have some Army Green 10-inch wheels already in stock. And so the good news about this engine, even though it's froze up, it still has the wiring. I've got a whole nother Craftsman that needs wiring from my Kohler, so that might work out. And let's see, the rust. The hood has rust, and the clutch pedal has some rust. If you push that, it might break off. What do you mean, might break off? That's going to be great. So these are 26/12 by 10. Is that the tallest tire we have? Let me get back and look real quick. I know Colonel has 25 10 by 12s, and Napoleon has 26 11 by 14. So there'll be a tie for the tallest. I also have some 26/12 by 12 Vampires, trying to save those for Major Dan. So that means the Vampires and the Mud Bugs are the same size, except for one's a 10-inch wheel and one's a 12-inch wheel. So just pressure wash the tires and wheels that used to be on Colonel Craftsman. I call them Woolly Boogers. I think the real name's Striker by Carlisle. Anyway, those are 10-inch wheels. I'm going to steal those wheels for the Mud Bugs. And what's weird, these used to be on Colonel Craftsman. When I first got it, it had chains. Then we went to these. Then we went to some taller 25s. Then we went to these Executioners. And this is how the Woolly Boogers stack up next to the Mud Bugs. Yeah, let's go with the Mud Bugs. I should sell the Woolly Boogers like, I don't know, $5. Maybe $5 each if you're local. They got good tread, but they're dry rotted. So up next we're going to clean up these wheels. It looks pretty good on the back side. The front side has a little spot of rust there. We'll clean that up, and I happen to have a can of Army Green that's left over when I did the neighbor's go-kart. So I've got the wheels all cleaned up. They're ready for primer. Then they're going to get some paint. It is tempting just to leave them like this, clear coat them, and have a rat rod mower. Maybe in the future. So while the primer is drying on the wheels, let's try to get this mower deck off. I don't need that. It looks like the pins are rusted in, so I've got a little hammer. This is what the pins are looking like. It's been a real pain. I got 2 more to go. Wish me luck. One more. I felt like I was pulling a tooth. So here on the mower, I just pulled the engine off. It's sitting here to the side. The frame up here looks pretty good. I've got to go and change this out. That might be a little bit of a pain. Find one off of a parts mower and change that out. And I'm going to get all the mower deck parts. Anything that goes mower deck, it's got to go. And I've got the pulley hanging there. I probably won't use that pulley. I'm thinking maybe a 6-inch. Get a little speed out of it. So I guess before I get too deep into changing clutch pedals, let's see if the back tires are going to fit. Let's try that now. So that bolt down deep in the hole right there, it's rubbing on the knobs on the tire. I think if I spin the bolt around the other way, I believe it'll clear. These two bolts have been flipped around. It's now time to put the tire on and see if it rubs. Here's a comparison of the Mud Bug versus the Executioners. Executioners are 25s. These are 26s. These are 12 inches wide. The Executioners are 10 inches wide. 25, 10, 12, 26, 12, 10. So now both back tires are on the mower. That looks really good. A whole lot better than the turf tires. Anyway, I could paint this army green mounted on the fender, right in front of the cup holder. Find another ammo can to put on that side, be like Colonel Craftsman. And up on the front, I think I'll take those wheels off, clean them up, paint them green, and I've got these tractor tires. That would look good on the front. I guess the next step, I might knock off for a day, but the next step's going to be to get the clutch fixed. Clutch, front tires, put the engine in, put the hood back on, go for a ride. It is front tire swapping time. Got to clean up some rust, paint them, and then get the tractor tires put on. The crappy turf tires are now off. I got to get the wheels cleaned up and painted. These wheels are all cleaned up. I'm going to put some paint on next. That's the worst one. The backs are actually in pretty good shape. So I'm going to spray some primer on them, we'll turn them green. So the big rust has been primed. I've got some paint. This is black, black, and black, trying to save the green for outside. That's our next step. This is where we are with the wheels. I think I'll stop there, go get some lunch, and when I get back I can get that green put on. Then we get the tires put on. And this is how far I got before the paint ran out. That one's probably good enough. That one's missing a whole area. I gotta get another can of paint. So here is the before, this is the after. That's a whole lot better. Anyway, these tires were marketplace, $30 for the two with tubes. If you were buying just the tubes new, it would have been more than that. Anyway, wait till we get them on the mower. So the spindle is all cleaned up. It's in really good shape. Looks like they wore the paint off there, the paint off here, but it is not worn out. Maybe somebody actually greased this one. So there's the new tire in place. That looks really good, and compared to the old junk, they are the same size, 16 6.5 by 8s, but compared to that back tire, it looks really small. So good news, the clutch pedal is out. I used the grinder, made it really easy. Now we got to try to get the new one in. See how easy that's going to be. And I think this plate's got to come off before it will go in. And if we look over here, this is the one that came out with the help of the grinder. This is the one that's going to replace it. And on the floorboards, this is off the parts mower. You can see the rust hole in that one. So we'll put this good one on. And I just took this mower deck junk off. Don't need that. So I'm right here with my latest mower project, and I realize this mower has no name. I want to pick one of your names. I'm going to let you pick the name for it. You can put your name on it. You can pick whatever name, as long as it's clean and approved by me. Anyway, I don't know what military name it's going to be. We've already got Major Dan. We've already got Lieutenant Johnson. We've already got Colonel Craftsman. This could be, if it was a Sears, Sergeant Sears would be really good. It could be, we've already got a cadet. It could be private. It could be, I don't know a whole lot about these military names. Anyway, if you want your name on this, Patreon. Go to Patreon. Whoever is the highest, let's say by, this is episode 1, maybe by episode 3, we'll have a name picked out. So this episode, the next episode, and the following episode, we'll have a name for it. If anybody goes to Patreon. Last time, I think it was $10 to get the name onto Lieutenant Johnson, and for Major Dan, I think it was $5 a month. That's not very much. For this one, it might be $1 a month. Anyway, the good news, here's the good news. All 4 tires are on, it rolls now. 2 bad news. 2 bad newses. When you push it, the tires are so wide they're rubbing on the gas tank. So I'm going to take the rear end apart, see if I can widen the stance just a little bit. And problem number 2, I got underneath it with it in first gear, I spun the pulley, nothing happens. I put it in reverse, spun the pulley, nothing happened. I put it in high range, low, nothing happens in first and reverse. When you put it in second, third, it goes. So I got to pull the transmission out. So if you look here, there is a V6 Chevy sitting on a mower frame. We'll see a video on that someday soon. Anyway, on the mower, I'm going to see how long it takes to get that rear end out. I've never pulled one like that. I've got this fan on, I've got this fan on, I've got some random tools. Let's see how long it takes. It is 3:38. Let's begin. So far, 10 minutes. Well, that's basically out. That took 15 minutes. So I'm right here with the transaxle. If we put it here, that should be reverse, nothing spinning. If we put it here, that's first, nothing spins. If we come down, that's neutral. There's second gear, we're spinning. Third gear, we're spinning. So something in this area. So I'm right here with the parts mower. I've got it in reverse. If we spin this wheel, that tire backs up. If we jam it over here, that's going to be first. There it goes, first. And then I believe that's second. And then here's third. And it's a little tight because of the brakes. It's been set up for a long time. If we pop this, that should be high range. That's third, second, first, and reverse. There it goes. So this works. I'm gonna pull this out. As the rain starts to fall, the parts axle has been freed. Let's get it to the garage. So good news, I just took the pressure washer, I cleaned up the rear end, it's ready to go in. The bad news is these hubs are so rusty, I don't think I can get them loose, I don't think I can make it wider. We're going to have to find some kind of substitute, skinnier gas tank. So I now have the transaxle in, all the bolts are tight, the shifters, they're in place, they work. Anyway, my big holdup is the gas tank is too wide, it rubs on the tires. Option 1, I could take the tires off Colonel Craftsman, the Executioners, and we could ride this, and then maybe the mud bugs wouldn't rub on Colonel Craftsman, but they probably would. Same rear end, it's got a wide gas tank. Okay, from where it bolts to the frame to the outside of the hub, it's about a 6 1/8 inches. If we come over to this one, where it bolts to the frame, it is about 5 3/4. So now these tires are rubbing on the frame. This rear end is not as wide as the other rear end. And I could probably space it out. I have to get the torch, heat that up, get those hubs to come loose. Or for now, I might try the Executioners, see if they'll clear, and then see if the mud bugs clear on Colonel. So the Executioner on this mower, there's like 2 inches of clearance, plenty of room. With the mud bug on Colonel Craftsman, it rubs, it's hitting the tank. It's not going to work. Okay, good news. With the use of the torch, we now have the hubs off of both axles. We can break this apart, see what's wrong with it, possibly lock it. Over on the mower, the good news on the mower, both hubs are off. The bad news is one of them had to be cut off. It was really being stubborn. It was the last one too. Anyway, I'm going to get some washers and space these out. Then the tires should fit even with the gas tank in place. We should be good to go. So I just took the wire wheel on the drill and I cleaned up this axle. Then I'm going to put a little grease on it. Then I've got 2 washers. And we got this piece of plastic and the hub. slide it on. And that's as much as I can put in there and still get the clip to go into place. And I think before I snap the clip all the way in, I'm going to see if I can get the tire and wheel on, see if it's going to clear, see if the problem's solved. Okay, it looks like we have clearance. Let me zoom out, give it a little spin, see what you think. And I still don't know about the gas tank, but as far as the tire and wheel goes, we're good. Let's get the other side together. I'm ready to put the rear fenders on, but I want to get a fuel line first. And the gas tank still hits, but if I jack up the back of the gas tank, it'll be good. I can do that after the rear fenders are on. So before we do that, I need some gas line to go from front to the back. So we're back to the front. I might try to get the clutch pedal in while I'm waiting to go to the store. So up next comes this brake pedal linkage, this parking brake linkage, and this is the painted up clutch pedal. We'll put it in next. So I just came back from the store. I got this 4-foot of fuel line, it's 1/4 inch, and I've got this fuel filter. That was $11. He wanted $16. I said, what about my discount? So $11. And then talking about prices, the whole mower with the blade was $100. Came with an extra engine, and these 2 tires were $40. So right now we're up to $151. Let's try to stop right there. Anyway, now that I have the fuel line, we can go and put the tank in, run the fuel line, put the fenders on, put the seat on, be done with the back half. Then we can start on the front, getting that engine in. So the clutch rod is in. We got everything hooked up. This goes to the brakes. This goes to the parking brake. This goes to the clutch. I've actually got 2 springs in there. Why not? Now it's time to move on to the engine. And now the 18.5 horse V-twin is sitting in place. It's all bolted down. I got the gas line coming here. We'll cut that, put the fuel filter in. The gas line will be on. Probably need to clean the carburetor. Then we got to get a hot wire to it and see if it'll run. And then I'm excited we get to build some kind of custom exhaust. Getting close. So the fuel filter, fuel line, it's all in. It's hooked up right to the fuel pump. And then they said the tacos are ready, so we're going to pause here and go eat some food. That's the taco we took the break for. So I've got some big heavy duty diamond plate. That's going to be the bracket that holds the gas tank up. Here is the custom gas tank lift-it bracket. Let's get it installed, make sure it works. And we're using existing holes that were already in the frame. It is close, but there is no rub. Let's get the fenders on. And just like that, the back fenders are on. I just went to Major Dan and borrowed this pulley. He don't need it for a while. We'll put this on, then we got to get a belt. That'll be another $20. And for the running boards, I got to get it on. That's the one that was on it. That's the one off the parts mower. We're going with that. So for the total price, once we buy the belt, $100 for the mower, $40 for the tires, that's $140. $11 for the fuel line, fuel filter, that's $151. $30 for the front 2 tires, but I've had this for a long time. We'll still count them. That's $181. And then the belt's about $20. We're in at about $200. We're gonna start about $200. I gotta find a gas cap, but we're gonna find a free one around here somewhere. So I just poured a little gas in the tank. I took the air filter out. It looks pretty good. I vacuumed all around here, put the battery in it. I topped off the oil. I don't know what the next step is other than hitting the key. Oh, I've got the choke hooked up and the throttle's hooked up. Other than the fuel pump leaking really bad. And so on our to-do list, we need a new fuel pump, we need to clean the carburetor, we need to figure out what kind of pulley we're going to use, get the right size belt, and then we can ride. So last night I put the pulley on from Major Dan Murray. It fits good. We could actually put a bigger pulley. It's a 6-inch. We could go 7, maybe 8-inch. But for now, that's going to work. I also stole the belt off of Colonel Craftsman. I think it's going to work for test purposes. We may have to go back, put on some belt keepers, maybe some idler pulleys. I don't know yet, but for test purposes, I think we're good. This morning's goal is I'm going to take the carburetor apart, clean it out, put it all back on, and then hopefully test drive in a few minutes. Here's the carburetor. It looks really clean. I think I'll stick it back together, stick it back on the mower. We got to make sure that little electric valve that cuts off the main jet, make sure it works. Other than that should run. So here's the carburetor bowl. I've got it hooked up to that wire. That black wire is the ground. The gray wire goes to the hot. If we take a hot wire and we stick it to the gray wire, you can hear that little valve clicking. I'll try to get you a close-up of it. So this faded pink does not look very good with the military theme. I've been using my heat gun. If you stay too long, it'll burn it, kind of like right there. But if you add a little bit of heat, it takes away a little bit of the pink. So the Callahan is back on now. Instead of pink, it's kind of a reddish pink. Looks a little better. Quick update on the Briggs going into the Kohler mower. This is the charging wire coming from around the flywheel. That goes to the red wire here, goes up to the battery. It also loops around to this gray wire. Gray wire, that's the solenoid under the carburetor. And then this black wire, that's the ground from the coils. Goes to here, goes up to your key switch. We should be all good. This was to the mower deck if you pull that little plunger. This goes up to the headlights. I'll take the zip ties and clean all that up. We'll be ready to run. Alright, let's try it again, this time with no blade. Okay, we've made it to this hole. This is the hole I do not want the belt to come off in, but if it does, it does. This is where we saw that moccasin the other day. Here we go. So in the next episode, I don't know, front bumper, custom exhaust, more bell keepers. You can leave me a list in the comments what you think, and I want to go to the river and ride in that sand. It does good in the mud. Let's go see what it does in sand. Oh, and shout out to the guy I got the mud bugs from. He gave me a good deal on them. They were $50. He said, if you'll meet me, $40 for the pair. And when I got there, he recognized me. I can't believe a shoe. I thought you were in South Carolina or somewhere. Tell him I sent you. So I was at work today and I got bored and I was thinking about my mower and how it needs a name, and then it was like a light bulb came on. This mower used to have a Kohler engine. Kohler likes to use the name Commander. This could be Commander Craftsman. Commander fill in the blank Craftsman. We can fill in the blank with your name. Patreon.com if you want a chance to get your name on this mower. Link in the description.